afterwards because we're having a lot of trouble connecting. Um, what I'm going to do is this. So, um, good morning, everybody. I'm Tiffany with Community Engagement. And this morning, I have the honor of having these two gentlemen with us. And I have Jerome here that's doing our sign language interpretation. So, forgive us that it is very early, but I have Mayor Lee and then I have Deputy Chief Billy Altman with me. And they're going to go over a few things that we've seen overnight. So, Mayor Lee, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Tiffany, and good morning, everybody. Let me say good early morning, Roanoke. Yesterday, we experienced dangerous river flooding, and we saw the Roanoke River crest first about 4:10 p.m. And again, it didn't double back on us, and so mandatory evacuations, swift water rescues, blocked roadways, and heavy rains were experienced throughout our region. Responding to the flood was even more challenging because of COVID-19. The pandemic of COVID-19 made it even more challenging. I want to commend our first responders along with homeless assistance team. They did a great job yesterday. The Department of Social Services and uh, community partners for helping to execute and respond really to those in need during the flooding. Our E911 Center made sure that all calls for service were answered, and our stormwater division was out in the elements measuring flood levels. Our streets and traffic division was busy deploying barricades to block streets covered by flood waters. And thank you to those that worked behind the scenes, like our GIS and technology department. It truly took a village to make sure our residents were kept informed and safe. I also want to recognize the National Guard, the Virginia State Police, the Virginia Department of Emergency Management, and of course, American Red Cross for their help today, And today we want you to continue to stay vigilant because it's still raining. Roads are still blocked by floodwaters, making travel dangerous. Please remember that. And for an update on conditions, now I want to introduce Deputy Chief Billy Altman from Roanoke Fire and EMS. Chief Altman, can you update us on conditions this morning?
Sure will, and thank you for that. This operational period has been pretty uneventful. We finished up evacuating the Ramada Inn of 116 people and relocating them to other hotels due to high water coming out of the Ore Creek down there. Between May 20th, May 22nd, we've had 5 swiftwater rescue calls, 1 transported for minor hypothermia. Out of those 5, we've had 10 to 12 calls for flooded basements and assorted water checks with our engine company. 1 hazmat call dealing with a little bit of gasoline with the flooded water in the basement taken care of. Like I said, we evacuated the Ramada Inn of 116 people, relocated them up to a couple hotels up off Peters Creek Road with the assistance of the American Red Cross, the HAT team, Trust and other companies to help do that with the help of the National Guard, police department, and all other partners doing that. We had 13 properties notified of some impending or suspected impending issues with the Spring Valley Dam, which is now much more stable, and they're very happy the way that's going. So everybody's doing well there. Along with the Piedmont area with the river coming up, we had to notify a bunch of people with water coming up in their yards. So they were all notified by the police and fire department to be vigilant, watch for the water, and not mandatory evacuations, but if they needed to leave, be sure and get your stuff and leave. Be reminded the roadways are still flooded, as you said. Don't go around barricades, turn around, don't drown. And with today's weather that they're calling for, be vigilant and just keep your eyes open. If we do get some heavy rains, we could have some flash flooding, which we haven't really seen this go around. We've pretty much seen river flooding. That's why the swiftwater rescues were sort of located around the river areas where the river came up. Past couple of years, we've seen a lot of flash flooding, and we didn't see it in those areas this time, which is a good thing. So be vigilant with the storms coming, and be safe. About the best message we can give you.
All right. Thanks, Mayor, and thanks, Chief Altman. Now's the time for you reporters, our reporter friends there, to type a question in the chat if you have any questions for us. We weren't able to get this to broadcast on Facebook, but what I'm going to do is we'll take it and we'll put it on YouTube, and then we'll post it to Facebook. It is pretty early, so I don't know how many viewers we would have had, but we do appreciate, I know we have about 11 participants on here. So does anyone have any questions for either Mayor Lee or Deputy Chief Altman? I'm seeing nothing. I know it is very early. Okay, we've got one. Once the water recedes, is debris cleanup going to be an issue, and how long do you think that would take? Chief Altman, do you have any ideas on that maybe?
That'll be part of the planning process of the day crew coming in, but usually once the water recedes, stormwater and public works is usually on that pretty quick to get the roads back open and any debris removed. With it coming down the Roanoke River, pretty much your debris is mostly going to be up at that Bennington Road area and sewage treatment plant, Jamestown, and down around the roundabouts where all the water's been. So I expect they'll get crews penetrate on that pretty quick, and then the greenways will probably be next because they're going to have a lot of debris on them also.
All right, and All Fire Bill, yes, All Fire Rescue Safe. We had one person transported for non-life-threatening injuries after a swiftwater rescue. So next question, multiple people have driven around barricades, had to be rescued. What is the city going to do to make barricades stronger, bigger, to keep people from driving around? Is there any options for that?
We're going to have a discussion with the streets department about if we can get any bigger barricades, barrels, or some bigger signs to put up. But if you put bigger signs up and the water hits them, they'll move easier. So there's a lot of things to be considered, but really people need to pay attention and not drive around them. They're pretty visible. They got fluorescent stripes on them and you should be able to see them, but it's just dangerous to go around. You're putting your life in danger. You're putting other people's lives in danger. And sometimes just have to pay a little bit more attention to what we're doing and be safe.
Okay. And any estimate on how long it might take for the water to recede?
If the rain stops, the river tends to go down pretty quick out of the roads. It'll stay up for a while, but once the water starts receding, it's down to about 14 feet now. And it, like say, crested at 4 o'clock at 15.89. She'll cut down almost 2 feet in 12 hours. So if it goes down a couple more feet, it should start clearing the roadways and then get out there and get the roads cleared. So probably by tomorrow, all the roads should be opened up, cleared.
All right. And what is the city's plan if the Spring Valley Dam fails?
The Spring Valley Dam is, they had an engineer out yesterday morning looking at it. Everything was flowing well through it. It was draining well, and the levels have actually dropped. So really there is no danger of that failing at this point. It is holding up very well, and they were very happy with it. So there were 13 properties that they did notify in case it did fail, because they would be inundated with water. So it was a threat, but they have neutralized that threat, and the people are I think, back in their homes now. So I don't think that's as big a deal as what it was originally.
Okay. Cool. And Mayor Lee, do you have anything that you want to add before we sign off?
Well, I want to emphasize something that the chief has been talking about regarding, please, I ask all citizens, don't drive around the barricades. If streets are blocked off, there's a reason that they're blocked off. And don't take that chance. And I also just again want to commend everybody coming together, showing great leadership and making this happen. And so it's a good job. That's why I'm so proud of us working together in this city, as you can see. And so please, citizens, don't take any extra chances. It's dangerous out here. And if the street's blocked off, there are barricades, go the other route. So, but thank everybody for their work and commitment, including you, Tiffany.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, definitely. It's been a long night, but it's been good, and we've been really happy that things have been fairly quiet out there. So, what we're going to do is we're going to keep everyone posted, throughout the day on social media, and we'll kind of recap when the daytime crew comes in. But thank you, Mayor Lee. Thank you, Chief Altman. Thank you, Jerome, of course, and thank you all for tuning in. We'll be posting this on YouTube, and we hope that you all have a safe day. Make sure to check out roanokeva.gov/flood for all the most recent updates. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Be safe.